Yo, what is up? How we doing, Canyon? Canyon, how are you, man?
Good. Doing well. A couple early games today, or one early game for basketball, but
It's
also
a
early
big
game
one. It's a
for
big
Premier League
one.
too.
Okay. Yeah, all
So
right.
two
We're not
games
even
at
a
3 o'clock that I care about: the Stones and City. Not that City matters, but just you asked me how I was doing.
some would
That's
say not that the Stones matter, but not us. The Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Pistons playing in Paris. Yeah,
easy.
France game. We've got Detroit, Chicago. We'll get into the game previews. I will say, as far as like picks are concerned, I think we'll talk about that a lot on stream. I know we tend to think in terms of like the picks we give out, but here's what I want to say before we get into any of that. Man, it's a heartbreaker going through these player prop streams and then choosing like three favorite from the six or seven we really like, and then
The other three hit, and the three we took didn't, or mostly didn't.
yeah, it's okay.
Hey, it happens. If we hit every time, we wouldn't be talking to each other.
That's true.
I'd be getting grapes fed to me by probably you.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I could see it. No, let's get into the preview, man. And how about if you want a preview and you want to start it off right, how about let's get this pulled up, a 236 and a half total. Oh, there's some points in this one.
Yummy, yummy, yummy,
This
yummy,
is like
yummy.
the Bulls are like, the sports books are saying the Bulls are going to score like 122. Like that's just happening with these totals. But yeah, Detroit,
I don't
Chicago.
disagree.
Right, and the big news is DeMar expected to play. So I don't even see a questionable tag. I think there's been like reports that he is going to play. That was kind of what we had expected. But
Yep.
um
Yep.
yeah,
Okay, you can say it.
it's all right. Do you think this one's stay close?
I do. I like the Pistons here. I mean, it's in Paris. You got Killian starting. Come on. If there's ever a time to be a narrative guy, it's now. It's a home game for the Pistons. Killian's going over on everything. So is every other Bull player. But yeah, I think it can definitely.
Yeah,
I think.
and
Go
I will
ahead.
say no. I just from an injury standpoint too. Durant expected to play.
Yep.
I know there was with the ankle, he's going to play through it a little bit, and the passport issues. I don't know if you saw the reports about that. He like lost his passport, and they had to kind of figure that
Yep.
situation. Youngest, yeah,
Yeah.
one of the youngest
Like
players in the
me.
league. Makes sense. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
younger
Yeah.
than both of us. Hey, I
Much
mean,
younger. Let's
Canaan's
not
going
think
to be,
about it.
yeah, Canaan's going to keep doing that kind of thing into his 30s. So,
He's
but now we
born
get
in
into this.
2004. Jeez,
If you are looking to play this game, I will say this has the game starts in an hour. I know it's kind of a funky, all the rest of the games are 7:30, and usually on these weekdays you don't have these kind of like early afternoon starts. It's more of a weekend thing. So just for awareness, if you are playing this, make sure you're playing that before 3. But let's get into the lines here. Got some lines up here on Underdog. Man, whenever it's versus Pistons, I don't care if DeMar's playing or not. Levine is so hard not to like. Man, he just seems to always destroy the Pistons.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels good because it's like a little 25 and a half down from maybe what it would be if DeRozan wasn't in. And now that
Mm-hmm.
DeRozan's in, it's moved down, but I still think he'll get a lot of volume. I mean, DeRozan, he'll probably shoot a lot, but I was like, I don't expect him to play 38 minutes and shoot 26 times the first game back. Never know. But yeah, I still like Levine in this.
Yeah, I mean, hard not to. And I will say for Demar, like I know when you look at these two guys and you think like shot volume and shot attempts, he's pretty appealing. But first game back, it is the Pistons. Both these guys could go overs. I just feel a little bit safer about Zach Levine. Like the range of outcomes for Demar seem very wide. Right, first game back from an
Right.
injury.
Right.
It is the Pistons. I think both these guys should cover. But I agree at the same line here. We usually don't always lean Levine if you just think about these guys compared. But I think in these games that kind of feel more like Levine games, and obviously DeMar returning for the injury, I think that makes a lot of sense. Any of these other Chicago guys interest you from a points perspective?
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to take time about.
Yeah. What about on the Pistons? Most of the guys are back, right? I think Nerlens Noel's probably. I mean, no Kojo or Bagley. Not that that's
I
super
mean,
impactful.
I
Um,
mean, I mean, come on, you gotta like Killian.
oh yeah. I mean,
You can't tell me he's home and he's not going to show off.
yeah,
He's not going to show out. I like Killian. I like Killian points. His assists are a little high, but he's been dishing it out really well.
yeah,
I like Killian points at 14. I like his PRA. I don't hate his assists, just a little steep, but I'd rather go PRA than assists. But yeah, I just like Killian. 14. He's been shooting a good amount. It's just he was
yeah.
really inefficient that last game, so I think he can easily cover 14 in a game in France.
Yeah. Now, what about it is 1.5 higher? Obviously, we've got the flat line here on underdog. I do like the flat line. I will say, like, I mean, this 13.5 line you're seeing, it's like up to minus 150. We've got like 162 on Pinnacle here. So, I mean, I just like Killian anyways. And the one site that has it at 14.5, it's a pick 'em that we have on here. So, what about Jaden Ivey? 15.5. I know he feels a little inconsistent. But from a scoring perspective, do you like that, or any other Pistons guys interest you before we kind of move on to some peripherals?
I like Ivy too. I mean, again, we talked about this is a huge total. They expect
Yeah.
points on both sides, and so if that's the case, I mean, Ivy is one of the guys that's expected to be our bigger scorers, I guess, or can be one of our bigger scorers alongside Bogdanovich. So
Mm-hmm.
I like Ivy as well. I mean, if this game is like 120 to 115 Bulls, if we score 115 as a team and Ivy doesn't cover, it'd be a little bit like not only shocked but a little disappointed.
Yeah. From a point, I'm going to sneak over to assist here because there's a couple I want to take a look at. But from a points perspective, I'm going to ask you on the Pistons side. I think I know what your one's going to be. Just come on. But give me your rank these three. Jaden Ivey 15.5, Killian 14 flat, and Bogdanovich 21.5.
I'd go Killian, Bogdanovich, Ivy.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's close. It's close. It's not like
Yeah. The thing with
uh,
Ivy too, and like I'm not saying we're like blind Pistons fans or anything, but I will say in a lot of these games that he's covering his points, and I like these lines for him, right? Obviously this last game was a little bit different. 2 for 8 from 3, covered his points, had just a huge shot volume game. He usually is not taking upwards of like 19, 20 shots like he did in that Knicks game. But for me, it's just when the 3-point volume, like in that Pelicans game, 0 for 6. He's been pretty like efficient from 3 in the most recent stretch. So that's like the only thing that kind of pushes him down for me compared to those other two guys. But we can keep it moving here from that. I don't want to belabor that.
yeah, yeah.
Assist line, Ivy. I wish we had Ivy at 4.5. And Killian, yeah, 7 flat. Assist lines feel a little steep compared to some of these points lines.
Right.
Yeah, and even Zach LaVine at that 4 flat, I honestly would just rather play his points.
Yeah.
Any PRA interest you for like a Killian or anything?
Yeah, Killian definitely does. I like his PRA. I like I'd probably go Ivy PRA maybe even over his points.
24.5. Yeah,
Like
Ivy's
24
been
and a half,
we've talked about it
25,
before. Ivy's been one of those guys that just like randomly fills out the stat sheet like
yeah,
really well out of nowhere. Like I
yeah,
don't think any of us expected him to be like a guy who
right.
could push up. I mean, obviously a little bit of no Cade, but I mean he's giving you like decent rebounding games. Like you're not shocked if Ivy has 6 and 6, right?
Correct. Well, I'd be happy. I'd be like, whoa, good game, but
Yeah. No,
not
I
like
mean
that.
6 and 6, 7 and 6, 4 and 8, 2 and 4, 6 and 6, 3 and 5, 6 and 5. Like this like past 6 or 7 game stretch, he's been playing good minutes too. Like he's gotten some like big 34, 37-minute games, which is nice to
Yeah,
see. I think when we were looking at a lot of these Ivy lines, it was kind of and he'll still have the inconsistencies, right? But we were really seeing a lot of those like, oh, he only played 24 minutes this game or whatever, or, you know,
yeah.
weird stuff. Anything else in this game interest you?
No, I think we can keep going.
Okay. All right. Next game here, we've got Golden State
Mm-hmm.
Boston
Mm-hmm.
finals
Mm-hmm.
rematch here. 240.5 total. If you like totals,
Goodness.
6.5 point spread for the
Then
Celtics,
you'll love this.
who are expected to have Jaylen Brown back. I will say that's kind of the big thing. He went through shoot arounds, practiced in full. I think the expectation is he plays, but obviously I don't want to like write that in stone or confirm. But that would be my expectation. And then most of the impactful guys are healthy on the Golden State side. So this will be a good game. I hope this one is the way that it's set up to be. You know, kind of like a 115, 120 close game towards the end.
Yep.
You agree? You think this one's going to be high scoring and close enough?
I'm a little shocked that it's so high scoring, actually.
Yeah.
It feels too good to be true, which makes me think that it will be high scoring. But if I had to set a line at this without knowing what it was, I would not have guessed 240.
I agree. And I think even like I would be happy with like this feels like a game where you're happy if the total's like 230, you know, or like 225 or something. You'd be like, all right, that's a decent total for this game.
Right.
But still, I mean,
Right.
I'm not. I'll sit here and say I'm not one to go against Vegas. So like even if it doesn't reach that total, it's still a great scoring game. Like if we get 220,
Yeah, right.
it's still solid.
Right. Yeah, I wish we had some Jaylen Brown lines, but I think he's still game time decision. I also wish we had some Robert Williams lines. I don't know if he's playing tonight. He might be a game time decision as well. He just came off played last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see if he. I don't think he's not on the injury report, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't. I like Tatum in this one. It's at 32.5 though. It's just so high, but I still kind of like it. I'm a little
Yeah,
surprised there's so
it,
much juice on the under just because of how high scoring they think this game will be and how well he's been playing.
yeah. I
But
mean, this is one of those where like if, and I don't think Jaylen Brown impacts this too much. Like I think the expectation for these lines is that Jaylen Brown's still playing, you know, with the total the way that it is. So I wouldn't try to get too cute and like slam it under because you're like, oh, it's gonna move down drastically when Jaylen Brown's playing. Like this is where Tatum should be around in these kind of games. So
yeah, I
I
like
don't.
Curry more, I think.
Yeah.
I like this big guy.
I don't hate Wiggins, but I think there's better plays on the slate tonight. He's just been shooting so bad, and we finally saw a good minutes game, and obviously defensively,
Yeah.
he should have some opportunities tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
Wiggins. Last time we saw these teams play 6 games, that dude was the truth.
Yeah, I think my favorite play might be Steph.
Yeah.
Points this one. I was looking at assists. Nothing crazy that 11 assists. I was looking at Tatum assists. I really wanted to go there. He's at 4.5, and the juice is on the under. I don't like it 4.5 even. But he's not. His
Yeah.
assist numbers I don't think have been as great as we were hoping from what we saw at the end of last season.
Yeah.
So
Draymond at 6 flat. I feel like I always want to like shot that out as just a line I like in these like super high total games. But
why is
I
he?
don't know if I love these. What's up?
Yeah, whatever. I'm just kind of confused why his line is at 4.5 and the juice is on the under.
Yeah, Tatum, his assist lines feel like such high variance plays.
Yeah.
Like more so than other players' assists.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peek rebounds here. I don't want to get too cute, but I'm just curious. Talk to me. What plays you like in this one? I know you talked about Steph. Is that your favorite one that you're seeing right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at rebounds with you. Horford at 6 flat is not bad. I like Horford tonight. Not gonna lie to you. I like Horford. I need to see what's going on here with Time Lord. Williams.
You looking up Time Lord right now?
Let's do this. I kind of like Steph, man.
Yeah.
Injuries.
You're getting flashbacks.
Yeah,
To,
Robert Williams should be good to go. I don't know why he's not on here.
I think it's just the start. They just have Horford as the start expectation. Like he probably doesn't have a designation.
Still, it's like
Yeah, but if he doesn't have a designation, they usually don't list him. But I get what you're saying. I'm gonna peek at threes. I just feel like you just have to like Golden State. You just have to look at threes and just acknowledge where the lines are at, and then move on from there.
Yeah. I was looking at Andrew Wiggins as well. No, I know you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm curious what his three lines is. He's probably the most interesting one to me. It's kind of loading up here. Yeah, I didn't expect we'd see one on underdog at 1.5. He probably would be a two flat if we do see it. He's been shooting a decent amount from three this season. The shooting has been pretty poor over the past stretch since the return from injury. So I think it is one of
Yep.
those kind of like variance plays. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have threes for him?
Oh no, not an underdog. It's 1.5, but it's like 180, so it would probably be two flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we see
Yeah, they
Tatum
don't have
three and
that.
a
Rather
half.
closely.
Yeah, yeah,
He's not at 1.5 on most things.
yeah. We can keep it rolling here. We can go down
Yep.
to this next game here, Toronto, Minnesota. So this one, let's get this pulled up. 232 total. It's so funny. 232 is the lowest total we've had these first three games. Injury wise, Edwards and Gobert are. I know Edwards has kind of had the hip soreness thing, so I expect him to play, but we'll see. And Gobert, I think, is probably an actual like questionable, game time decision. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 point spread for Toronto, 232 total. Anything here jumping out to you?
Yeah, I like the Toronto side here. I don't. Minnesota's just not good defensively right now, and they haven't been most of the season. It's a good pace-up spot for Toronto, so they're going to get more possessions in against a not super stellar team defensively. I feel like a really good game here from not really good game, but I think this is a good spot for Anunoby to kind of get his wits back about him. I've been I've been a Anunoby truthers through this kind of poor spot,
Mm-hmm.
poor spell. I know he's going to get the time. I know he's going to get the looks, and 14 and a half is just I mean, it's just so doable against this team. So I still I like Anunoby. It's kind of I wish it was lower because of how poorly he's been playing, but it's pretty fair line. Even over the last couple of months, it's a pretty fair line. So I don't know if
Yeah,
it's worth taking the risk on him shooting efficiently tonight just because of that.
yeah.
Gary Trent, 18 and a half, good value
It's
on most
yeah,
books.
yeah.
He's a lot more high variance to me, even though he's been shooting a lot better than Anunoby. Let's look at assists here. Do I like Siakam? Kind of.
Yeah,
Siakam's at 24 and a half. It's good value. I'm going to look at assists here.
yeah. I think Siakam too, and like, if Gobert plays as well, like I know Siakam can do a lot of work in the mid range, but he's very very good at attacking the lane and dishing from there.
Yeah.
I do wish it was 5.5 because needing seven is kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Do we have confirmation if Gobert's playing or not? Still
No,
questioning.
let me know if you see anything. From the last thing that I saw, he is like more of a game time decision than Edwards is, just from my opinion of the reports and everything.
Okay. Because
But
that pretty heavily impacts how much I like Siakam. Because if they throw Siakam at the 5 and Gobert plays, like
yeah,
Gobert's by far their best defensive player. So, um,
I'm gonna peek at threes.
yeah, I kind of like Anunoby, man. This is plant my flag day. This is what I'm doing. Am I doing that today? Is
Hey, I
the day
mean,
that I say he's back?
there's only one person that can answer that question for you.
And that's me.
That's you. No
I'm
threes.
OG. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take OG personally tonight.
Yeah, no, I like
At
OG.
14 and a
I like
half.
that. I like that
I
lane.
like the matchup. I like the spot.
I like the game.
Whether
Yeah.
it's yeah, I like that matchup a
Honestly, I
lot.
like a lot of those. Like this is one of those games where I could see myself playing Trent as well. Like
Yeah, it's a
not
good
like
implied
it's not one of my
total.
favorite plays, but like these are the kind of games where I want to play Trent at his like 17, 18 line.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I mean, we're talking what implied total of 118 for Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I like it. I'm gonna go on it over here.
Like that. All right, all right. Yeah, we can keep it. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's go into what's up, Brock Purdy. At 2.5 spread. Ugh, ugly 220.5 total. Ugh. For Brooklyn Phoenix here. Obviously, massive injuries for the Suns guys. No KD, obviously. That
Yep.
was weird. No KD, obviously. But man, for the Suns, no Book, no Chris Paul, no Campaign, no Shamet, Dwayne Washington expected to get the start. Just like it feels like kind of an ugly game, but you look at the other side and you're like, this is probably just a close game, you know?
Yeah.
Like this Brooklyn team, the way that they played the Spurs, I feel like it's going to be very similar to the way the Suns game's going to go, you know? But
Yeah.
we have Kyrie though in this one, so I will say, yeah, he's expected to play. That's the big just difference there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate Kyrie here, 29 and a half. I kind of like Ben Simmons here in this matchup. I think he's I think he's very awkward for Phoenix to deal with. I don't think you put like a guy like Mikal Bridges on Ben Simmons. You just don't, right?
Yep.
You put him, you maybe switch him with Irving and the shooters like Harris O'Neal or Seth, and then you got Ben Simmons on then Saric, Aiton, Torrey Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's a very awkward spot for the Suns to deal with Simmons. I like his PRA. Potentially, what do we got here for his
Yeah.
PRA?
What's
And
PRA?
he's been playing solid.
Oh
Looking
yeah, I
up
mean, as like a stat sheet filler, I mean,
right.
especially in these games without KD, right? And obviously Kyrie missed this most recent Spurs game, but man, he probably is just gonna give you like close to double digit boards and assists.
Yeah, it's 24 and a half. Let me see what his rebounds are actually.
I honestly don't hate it. I would be curious to see what rebounds are. That's a good shout.
8 flat. It's kind of ugly.
We both had the
But
same.
like this, like there's not any like dominant rebounders in this game. Like Aiton's not even dominant rebounder. Saric isn't great rebounder for a power forward. Like that's what I'm saying. It's just like a very
Oh man,
like Phoenix is pretty weak from like the 3 through 5 as far as how they can match up with Simmons. They're not like beefy. They're not like glass dominant.
yeah,
And I think he can thrive in this matchup.
yeah. But where do you like him? I think is the big question because
That's
you've
what I'm
got
trying
the
to figure
ugly
out.
assist line too, right? 8 flat versus 7.5, where I could have seen that line there. So 8 flat's a little sketchy. I don't mind PRA. Obviously, the tough thing with PRA for a guy like Simmons, yes, he fills his stat sheet out very well, but like the scoring upside, like he had 10 in this last game without
I
Kyrie,
know.
4 for 10.
I don't feel
Against
great
the
about the scoring
Spurs. Yeah,
at
no.
all. So I don't think I want to go PRA. I'd probably just go rebounds or assists. I think I would just go rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate saying it, but I think I agree with you.
That's awkward, man. So awkward. What do we have for?
Yeah, what about talk to me about some of these like secondary guys.
Ooh. Yeah, Mikal Bridges points.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. 16 and a half
Oh yeah, I love that.
for probably one of their better scorers on the court right now, and probably best player on the court. I mean, he's been shooting a lot more than usual with guys obviously like Chris Paul and Devin Booker out. 21 last game, 24 the game before that, 7, and then 26.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's going to play just close to 40 minutes. Vice versa, I don't think there's anything that scares me too much defensively for the Nets. Like
Yeah.
maybe Ben Simmons sees him. Probably not though, because like if Ben Simmons is on him, then you put up Harris on Craig, way undersized. Royce O'Neal on Saric. Actually, Royce O'Neal could probably handle Saric.
Yeah, that was my only thought is they might these lineups like you don't expect to see like Curry and Harris both. So like you can kind of solve that problem a little bit.
Like we're gonna let like Dwayne Washington shoot 20 times? No. Like Mikal Bridges is gonna shoot like 15 times this game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
and
there's
it's
like
not even like that high of a line without all these guys, right? I mean,
right.
he's
That's why
averaging like
yeah.
15 16 this season. So like
What's the
him
pinnacle on
needing
it?
17, minus 130 on the over.
Yeah. See, I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that all day. Oh,
Oh,
Dyson. What do we
I
got
do like
for
that one.
Seth Curry? There's no underdog line for it yet. Torrey Craig, I'm cool on that. And then
Where's
Joe
my
Harris, the other
Watanabe line?
one, 8.5. Yeah, for real.
Watanabe hustle play. Give me the over.
I think Claxton's interesting as well, as I guess, but no, I think it's just Bridges for me, man.
Yeah. We can go. Let's go to this next game.
Yep.
I think this is like a very exciting, decent total, close game. 233 total, 2 point spread for the Sixers. Philly, Portland, most guys healthy. I think I expect Nurkic to play. I know he's kind of listed as a game time decision, but I think he's probable to play. Yeah, let's take a peek at this one. This is like the tale of like two monster scorers, man. Dame has been on a tear.
Yep.
Over the past like 10 games. It's been crazy.
Yep.
31 and a half. Embiid at 32 and a half, sorry, on underdog. -133 on the over.
Yep. Yeah, I don't hate Dame. Fun fact, Philly actually the best team defensively against the one spot, so put some respect on guys like James Harden's name. Because he is involved with that, whether you want to say, well, it's because, X person is carrying that stat or they played the Harden is involved with that stat, I promise you. Put some respect on his defensive name.
What's that?
Huh?
Nothing. I gotta look up a rap lyric.
Oh. Kind of feeling a nice little Anthony here. 19.5, just a 20 shot from Anthony. Just give me the little 2 in the points column there. I feel good about Anthony in this one more.
Yeah. You don't like compared to Grant 18 and a half? Is that a matchup thing for you?
I just
because I part of me does kind of like
yeah, Grant is nice actually.
That line for Grant.
I do fear Tucker a lot more though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could see them pulling Tucker over to him.
I think they probably play Tucker on Grant with those Nurk lineups. You just have Toby on Howard. You just play secondary guard on
Yeah. Second best team defensively against the 4 spot, thanks to Tucker, more than likely. But they actually give up a good amount of points to the 4 spot, just not other peripherals. Yeah, do I like Grant or Anthony more?
I want to look at assist lines, how high these points lines are.
Let's see this.
Hey,
okay.
How you doing?
So, interesting.
Speak to me. What's interesting?
Jeremy Grant has, when he's matched up with Tucker, has covered more often than not. Obviously, they haven't played just these two teams, so it was with the Pistons and the Nuggets. So the volume was a lot higher, but he was pretty inefficient for most of those games. So he covered, yes, but he was very inefficient. And he had those high volume games, a lot of free throws too.
Yeah,
stuff that just probably won't be emulated with this new team. And yeah, I just don't like. I'm not trying to.
I think you're trying to like it too much.
Yeah, I'm just not trying to play. Like, why am I convincing myself to play Jeremy Grant?
I should have never said anything. I just made a note because I like the line, is what I was saying.
Yeah, no, it was a good point.
Assists are kind of interesting. I mean, good value on this Anthony line. I probably would just rather play his points.
Yeah. Yeah. Melton, good defender as well. And man, last game for Anthony against the Nuggets, 5 for 15. KCP, man.
No, you said it. That was a Canyon thing.
Mm-hmm.
You should get a KCP jersey now.
Heck,
Canyon's random jersey collection of like guys he likes but don't deserve a jersey purchase. It's like KCP, Jalen Smith, who else?
Yeah, who else would that be? Nurk.
Nurk for sure. Baby, no, it's just 4 different guys. It's like Nurkic, Sabonis, and probably another guy I'm forgetting. And it's the back of the jersey just says Baby Jokic because we've used that to refer to like
Yeah, right.
6 different guys. Not everyone who rebounds and has good assist numbers as a big is Baby Jokic, but they are. All right. No, I think there's a couple that we talked about that we like. I'm gonna peek at threes real quick, but I like I know I like that Bridges one, and we can take a look at some of these other ones. Anthony 3.5. Probably I would just rather play points.
Did you look at assists?
Wait, I'm tripping. Harden at 10.5. I like it. I don't know if I like it enough to like have it be a top 2 or top 3 play, but man, it's just so hard not to like.
Anthony at 3.5 is interesting.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that one. I think that's a
Yeah,
good
sorry.
No, you're good.
I think I just feel better about some of the other plays though.
Yeah.
Like I like Anthony's points and assists. I just like when we talk about like Mikal Bridges, I feel way better about that. OG Anunoby.
Right, when you compare it.
I'm playing my flag on Anunoby, so like I get the concern with that. Like Killian tonight, I kind of feel better about that. But
yeah.
Or today.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, you want to talk through, you want to come up with, what do you want, 2 or 3 of the later games?
I've got 2 if you want to add one. I mean, I know you like Bridges as well.
Yeah,
like Bridges points,
for sure.
That.
What's your
Bridges points?
What's your other?
I gotta go with OG, man. I gotta go with OG. I'm all
playing flag. All right, let me do this because I will say Bridges was the one that I like 100% wanted to make sure was on here.
Yes.
Let me. I'm adding it right now, but let me do a quick check. These other games, I want to make sure. Raptors Wolves, okay. OG, yeah. I think honestly, the only other ones that like really jumped out to me would have been like Levine or something in the Bulls Pistons game. But if we're not picking from there, I like these 2. You want to just roll with these 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. 0 for 2 doesn't hurt as much as 0 for 3, right? I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah,
no,
1,000%. We'll manifest that.
Do you like how I do like the names and stuff on the cards? Should I do OG? I'm gonna do that. OG is his initials. All right, OG in that line was 14.5. Yeah. I'll get this up. All right, here's what, when I'm like doing this, I need Kenyon to, your homework is to practice filling this dead air as I'm like focusing on typing in the names.
Sorry, I'm responding to again our Discord. Shout out the Discord.
Oh, nice. What's is it a good reply or is it a bad reply?
It's you don't know what you're talking about. No, it's a guy asking a fantasy question. Trade Zion and Giddey for Trey Jones and Embiid? Question mark.
Oh, man, why do you lead with Trey Jones in that the receive?
Yeah,
that messes with my brain. All right. I like Giddey.
Yeah,
Giddey and Zion. I mean, it's just got to be. Yeah. It's got to be Embiid.
You think so?
You're Giddey Zion? I do like Giddey.
I'm saying I like Giddey over Jones more than I like Embiid over Zion. So I'd keep Zion and Giddey.
Yeah, but I mean Zion
in a points league.
Yeah, but I just like I'm pretty worried. Like, where's Zion at? Because I'm just usually wary about
like he's close to coming back too.
I know. I get very wary. These close deals for me, it's just like give me the guy who's not hurt right now.
But that guy is Embiid. So it's like, are we really?
Okay, yes, that guy is Embiid, but also that guy is Embiid. You could have said that in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, 2 plays we like tonight, both points. OG Anunoby, 14.5. I like the more there, and then Bridges, 16.5. Good line. We like both of these games. I know the Suns game, I made a joke that it was the lowest total. It's not that low of a total, like compared to NBA games, and it's a close one, and it's Brooklyn. Like the spot for Bridges, obviously no Book, no Chris Paul, no Shamet, no campaign. It just feels like one of those Bridges games, and his line's not even that boosted. Someone's got to score for the Suns, And
Yeah.
I
So
don't think it's going to be a 30.8 in game or anything. And Bridges can still hit
this
if that
could
happens.
be, yeah, Bridges can hit this in like a 90-point total for the Suns. Like this isn't, and we're talking like what, 110?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. No, I like these. Um, yeah, there's a couple
And
other
they're
ones. I want to
cool.
shout out a couple other ones we liked. I know it's about to end, and I know not a ton of people are in here right now, but Levine, we like Levine tonight for sure, or today in 25 minutes, literally. Like
Yep.
Levine, he always shows out against Pistons, and it's not a crazy line for what that game should look like. And obviously, first game for DeMar back. I would usually like that DeMar line, even in a game that I kind of feel like fits Levine more. But
Mhm.
first game backs are always scary, so I'm usually pretty cautious about that for
Yeah.
scorers on their first game back. There's just
Yeah.
usually you end up getting screwed on that more often than you end up cashing because it's not even
Yeah.
discounted, right?
Yeah.
But I like these games, man. 240 and a half total, 231, 220 and a half, 233. Good games tonight. Hopefully they stay close. I think Brooklyn. I think the two games we picked, Brooklyn Suns and Toronto Wolves, especially if Gobert plays, which I think he will. We'll see. I think both these games could stay close for sure.
Yep.
Appreciate you
Love it.
guys. See you in the next one. Deuces.